Hello, this is Josh Belk with the Belk on Business podcast. Last week, we took about a 10,000-foot view on key performance indicators. And I think I mentioned in that podcast that we were going to kind of take a spin on that acronym and kind of go a little bit of a different direction. And I think I'm going to do that over the next 3 weeks. And I'm going to change that middle initial. I referred to this heard this referred to sometimes as key purpose indicators, but I'm going to call it key people indicators. Key people indicators. So when we're looking at the traditional KPIs, as we talked about last week, we're basically finding some measurable in our business as it relates to the business's performance. What we're going to talk about today is indicators that relates to our people, specifically our employees. From time to time in our businesses, we'll sit down with our employees and we'll do employee reviews many times, trying to get gives the employees some feedback, team members some feedback as far as where they're at, how they're performing in the business. When we're getting into key people indicators, we're going to take that process and somewhat turn it on its head. Not meaning that we're not going to take charge of the conversation. I think that's important. But I think turning the conversation in a way we're getting feedback from our team members on how we're performing. Now, in some cultures, you may have an environment where you can sit down with the employee and have this conversation. In other environments, maybe where there isn't as much kind of helpful feedback kind of going both ways. Maybe the employee might be concerned as far as how they may respond to your questions. It may be a situation to where you may end up doing this type of a process via paper or email, having them respond anonymously back to you. So key people indicators. So this is a process of employee review sessions which can reveal indicators on whether our actions as a business owner, as leaders in our business, align with our shared values and also with the culture that we're trying to develop for our companies. Many times we kind of have an idea of what we want the culture to be, but are our actions essentially creating the culture that we want to have inside of our business, and also whether our actions align with our shared values. When I talk about shared values, these could include such things as, are we living up to our promises? Do we go beyond as leaders what is expected? Are we effective in communicating processes and purposes to help provide the employee what they need to not just perform their duties in the present, but also the development that they need to push the business going forward into the future? Also, these KPIs, these key people indicators, can also provide us feedback on whether or not if we're effective in communicating as far as the support helps that they need from us as leaders. So what we're really trying to do is find out from our employees, our team members, how well we're doing as a business owner, as a leader in our business. And it may be as a business owner, it may be one of those situations where we have a leadership team that's working with the team. And so we're trying to get that feedback to find out whether or not we're effective in our relationship with them, and also if we're effective in helping them, get them to the point to where they can help us move the company forward. And many times this can be done through questions that we may ask. And I'm going to kind of rattle off 8 questions. And of course, this is just a very brief list. You can definitely go way beyond this. But I think these 8 questions really should help you get thinking as to what types of questions would you provide. Now, these can be done many times. I think maybe the easiest way would be on a scale of 1 to 10. So 1 being the worst or the lower end, and 10, of course, being that we do a great job at this. So, like I said, 8 questions here. I'm just going to kind of rattle off. They'll give you a score on a scale of 1 to 10, and then this will help provide us the feedback that we need on whether or not we're effective in our way that we're working with our team. Number 1, do you feel that you can be transparent with other team members? So have we cultivated an environment to where team members can communicate with each other? And another way of maybe asking this question is, do you as an employee, do you feel physically and psychologically, emotionally safe in the work environment to be able to provide feedback to other team members? Secondly, a very close question, but turning it from team members back to leadership. Do you feel that you can be transparent with leadership? Do you feel like you can be transparent with me as an owner? Do you feel like you can be transparent with your direct report in the business? How comfortable do you feel in approaching leadership with issues, problems, or mistakes that you've made? Many times the best indicator of whether or not an employee feels safe in their workplace is whether or not they're willing to own their mistakes, or whether they feel like they have to cover their mistakes. Are they willing to be open and communicate with you as far as the mistakes that they've made, issues that they're having in the workplace, problems that they may be having? Number 3, how well do you feel your opinion is valued by team members? How well do you feel your opinion is valued by leadership? Okay, so different questions here. Number 3, number 4, how well do you feel your opinion is valued with team members? When you share your opinion, your analysis of a situation, do other team members listen? Do we have an environment where that communication between team members is welcome? Or do you feel like it's an environment to where you can't talk to them, that you feel like you have to go to leadership? And this may present a situation to where either we're micromanaging or we have an overly competitive workplace. How well do you feel your opinion is valued with leadership? And hopefully, as leaders in our business, that we're secure enough to be able to take that feedback from our team, even if it's negative feedback, and be able to act on it in a positive manner. Number 5, how well does leadership in the company in general fulfill its promises to you? And so you probably have some sort of set expectations from what you expect from your employee, but you should also have had set those expectations of what they should expect from you. And then how well are you living up to the promises that you've given to them? Number 6, are responses and feedback given timely by leadership? So when you come with a problem, when you come with an issue, when you come with a concern, how quickly are we in responding, and how effectively are we in responding to whatever that concern is? Number 7, do you feel leadership will do whatever it takes to keep you happy, challenged, and growing? So from time to time, we'll have a business owner ask us a question in regards to how do we go about motivating employees. And it's rare that, of course, many times employees feel like, well, number one on my priority list is how much am I getting paid, and to a certain extent that is true. But when it comes to morale, many times this comes from different areas, and many times team members, they want to be challenged. They really just want to be happy. They want to be happy to where in the place that they're working, and they also want a place where they can grow. Where they can grow individually, where they can grow professionally. So a question you can ask them is, do you feel that leadership will do whatever it takes to help to keep you happy in the workplace, to keep you challenged, and to keep you growing? And I think these 3 go hand in hand. Number 8, do you have a clear understanding of what is expected day to day from you? When your team comes in, do they know what's expected to them? Do they feel like they have the support just not on a day-by-day level, but also when it comes to whether it's a project or an assignment? So when they finish up a project or an assignment, they have what they need there to be able to know where to go and where to the next steps in the process, the next assignment they need to go to. And then also on a day-to-day level, do they have that support there? Are you providing them what they need in the workplace? So key people indicators as it relates to employees. In future weeks, we'll talk a little bit about our clients or our customers, and then also our vendors, and some similar types of questions that we may ask those groups of individuals. Hopefully this particular podcast was of some help to you. If it was, I would encourage you, if you haven't not already, to subscribe to the Belk on Business podcast. Thank you for taking a few moments out of your day to listen. Have a wonderful day.